Today I'm surveying a westerly consort sailing yacht from the early 1990s, and I'm sitting inside the sail locker, as you can probably tell. But anyway, I'm in here because through the side of this is an access panel that allows me to get to and have a good look at the stern gland. The stern gland is a really important part of a boat. They seal the prop shaft where it passes through the stern tube and stop water coming in. So they've got to be low friction to allow the prop shaft to turn, but they've got to provide a good seal. And there's several ways of doing this. One of the most common things I often find are what are called lip seals, and they're commonly made by Volvo Penta. Other companies make them as well. And it's a very simple rubber body with 3 internal rubber lips. They're quite delicate, but they provide a very good seal on the shaft. And there's a couple of things I always check for when I see them. So let me spin the camera around and I'll show you what I'm looking at. So there we go. This is what we're talking about. Volvo Penta lip seal stern gland. Secured by this very heavy duty stainless steel clip, which is nice, and it's always got 2 of these screws on it. Now in the installation manual it says you should do this up until those 2 plates touch, so you close that gap. What you often find though on older boats is where the stern tube has been glassed in, they're often, you just can't get them tight enough because it's not exactly an exact diameter on the outside of that. So that's acceptable. It appears to be tight. Certainly I'd want to keep an eye on it for any water ingress once it's back in the water. The other things to look for. So this is the body made of solid rubber. It's a flexible unit, but they do get stiff with age. And the way you test that is you squeeze it up at this end. Now when the boat goes back in the water, air naturally gets trapped up in here and you have to squeeze the 2 sides together to burp the stern gland. But you get a good feel for how flexible it is. Does the Volvo Penta recommend a service life of these for
only 5 years?
Which sounds like not very much, and you often find them at 10 years and beyond, and they're absolutely fine. But when the manufacturer recommends a service interval, you really should stick to it. Other thing to notice here is you see here we've got a small grease tide mark, which is quite interesting. Now it's quite natural for the engine to move forward and backwards when you go from forward to astern. That's quite normal, and that I think is fine. Once you get above 10 mil of shaft movement, that's usually a sign that the engine mount's getting tired. But I know these ones aren't because they're brand new, which is lovely. Well, I say brand new, a couple of years old. And sometimes you'll see a polished band instead on the outside where the prop shaft emerges and comes out of the stern gland cutlass bearing or the P bracket. You'll see a polished band which tells you the shaft is moving backwards and forwards. And then tucked away on the far side, just by my boot, this is a special tool which goes around the shaft and slides inside to protect those delicate rubber lips I mentioned earlier. Oops. To protect those delicate rubber lips inside, so when the shaft gets taken out and come back in again, it doesn't trash the lips because that would ruin the seal. So that's that special tool. Yeah, we need one of those every time you buy one of these. You buy this plus that, and it comes with that. So there we go. Volvo Penta lip seal stern gland. Very common fitment. I see them on loads of boats. Checking the stern gland is an essential part of any survey. And in this case, the Volvo lip seal looks pretty good. I'd like to see the invoice to tell me its age, because they never mark the age on them. Sometimes it's a good idea to write on it in silver pen when you put it in. Helps as a really easy visual reminder. Anyway, hope you found it useful. If you're looking to buy a boat, check out my free book, downloadable, How to Buy Your First Boat. You'll find it. There's a link in the description. You'll find it on there. Go and download a copy of that, have a read, and get some top tips and advice from an experienced marine surveyor. Stern glands lead a simple and uncomplicated life. Their jobs are to allow the prop shaft to turn, keep the water out. It's as simple as that. Now these Volvo Penta lip seals are good units. They're pretty reliable. You rarely see them go wrong, but they do have a limited life, is what Volvo recommends, and that means taking the shaft out. Now that might be simple on some boats. On others, you might need to drop the rudder to get the shaft clear enough to get the thing changed. Anyway, a job that he's doing on a regular basis, so worth checking when yours was done. If you're looking to buy a boat, make sure you can get that sort of information from the seller or ask the broker when was it changed. That gives you an idea about when it needs to be done next. Anyway, hope you found that useful. If you did, thanks for watching, and YouTube reckons you should watch this video next, so enjoy that and I'll see you next time.